Now, I probably don't look like a traditional NRA member. The media would have us believe that the NRA is only made up of old white guys. And all you old white guys can be proud and raise your hands. But there's a lot of other people, a lot of diversity within the NRA. Well, let me tell you something. I may be a mom and a grandma, but I am the NRA.
Sometimes a good camera angle switch just really speaks for itself, doesn't it? South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem was called out in real time without anyone having to say a single word. It's not even like C-SPAN was really trolling her. That audience shot is straight up just representative of who belongs to the NRA. And aside from all of the cringe at the NRA's convention, I truly can't imagine anything scarier than going to this. What could possibly go wrong when hundreds of gun owners with chips on their shoulders convene in a location that allows open carry of firearms? But it was billed as a family event, and boy, did families show up. There were exhibits for kids where they could hold and aim guns, but because the NRA didn't want a mass shooting on their hands, all firearms at the exhibit had to be, quote, deactivated by removal of the firing pin or other alteration so that they are rendered incapable of being fired. So you're saying that restrictions and strict guidelines as to who can legally handle a loaded gun actually work? Fascinating. Photos of some kids went viral with people calling out the fact that even pointing a non-loaded gun at someone is unacceptable by the NRA's own standards. After all, the organization prides itself on being the standard bearer for responsible gun ownership, but I think some of those kids' parents need to read their handbooks a bit closer. Kristi Noem wasn't the only political figure who made an appearance. Donald Trump made reference to a truly dystopian policy he wanted enacted as president. Take a look.
You know that very well in this auditorium. I fought Obama's unconstitutional effort to ban 3D printed guns.
So what's interesting here is that because 3D printed guns would eliminate the need for gun manufacturers, the NRA isn't likely to support them, which just shows that once again, Trump has virtually no one's best interest in mind. He just wants to be the most extreme voice in the room, whatever the cost. It's no secret that the NRA is as underfunded and unpopular as ever, but as we've learned in the case of gun control discussions for a decade, that doesn't seem to stop them from trying to have a show of force whenever they can. This year, the convention came just days after mass shootings at a school in Nashville and at a bank last week in Louisville, Kentucky. And that one in Kentucky marked the 15th mass killing of the year in the country in which 4 or more people were killed. Imagine having the gall to celebrate a lethal weapon in the wake of all of those deaths. If you want to see more of my coverage on The Breakdown, stay right here. You can watch my latest video on a MAGA Karen throwing a tantrum over Bud Light's betrayal by clicking on the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at ArrowJohnson917.